everybody, and welcome to a refreshing wild ride with Steve-O. We sat down with Brandon Novak for this episode, talked for over an hour, and we didn't harp on and on and on about sobriety. We talked about all new stuff, all different stuff, and I gotta say it was refreshing. And sitting on my lap right now is a gorgeous little angel, this baby dog. I named her Moon Pie, Moo Moo for short. And she is from a shelter. I wanted to find a dog that actually likes riding on the tour bus, and she seems to have no problem with it whatsoever. So I think she's going to be my tour dog. Moon Pie is going to every show on the Super Dummy Tour, and you should be on that tour too. Get your tickets at steveo.com because, man, it's ridiculous. Now, back to this episode. It does touch on BAM, but only for the sake of, well, you know, let's get into it. Yeah, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you Brandon Novak.
Back in the saddle, boys.
For the third time?
Love you.
A triumphant third episode.
It's what they refer to as the old hat trick.
That's right.
So watch your ass.
Now, I'm all kinds of conflicted. I decided to wait until we were actually recording to say this as opposed to before. Mm-hmm. But I've done a really good job, a deliberate job of just not exploiting our buddy Bam for views and you know, the rest of it for quite some time now. I saw criticism on Reddit. It's like, oh, this guy is just trying to, you know, like, what kind of a friend he really, you know. And I was like, hey, you know what, that's valid. There were some YouTube shorts that were kind of misleading, and we've got a guy who cuts up all my old content, and you know, he cut up like an old video of me and Bam surfing together and put it out there. And it was like kind of like misleading in that it was presented as if it was current when it really wasn't. I had nothing to do with that, but it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And I was like, I get it. Take it down, you know, like take it down. And then today we're hanging out at Scott Randolph's house. He says, oh, dude, Brandon Novak's coming over. Oh, cool, man. He says, what do you think about doing another episode with Novak? I'm like, hell yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do it. And so then you show up, and then you were like, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But presumably, when this episode comes out, like, there's going to be a whole wave of...
It's already in the headlines.
It's already became news since I saw you earlier to now, which is what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
It's been made public that he was arrested.
By the time we get done recording this episode, it's gonna, yeah, wow, it's everywhere.
I mean, how do people find out when a celebrity, like when you go to jail or Bam goes to jail, like he leaves, clearly he's in there, so does that mean there's a leak within the system that somebody's like calling somebody and saying?
I think it's public record.
Yeah, it is. It's public record.
But so is somebody like constantly looking online for like Bam Margera and he happens to pop up in that jail? Like, how do they know so quick?
I'm sure it fits in someone's job description somewhere within like the local papers, you know, just kind of running the arrest records every day to see who pops up.
But okay, so it's all over the news already. Like on the day when this comes out, like next week, it'll be even more so. But in the spirit of what I started out saying, like I don't really want to get into it. I don't want to make the title that, like, I don't want to, like, be exploitative. I even think I just want to talk about Brandon Novak.
God damn it. Who said a dog doesn't get his fucking day?
I mean...
Speaking of jail, Brandon Novak.
Perfect segue.
Okay,
yeah.
So I went through your Wikipedia.
You didn't try to fucking edit or change it, did you? Because we just found out prior to starting this that Steve-O used to have a real knack for that.
No, not a real knack for that. I just remember, like years ago, before I got clean and sober, being on extended benders, like,
you know,
snorting substances and just trying to figure out how to edit people's Wikipedia page.
He's editing it right here. We can edit Novak's.
I mean, I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I wanted to like edit people's Wikipedia pages to. It was only one person, but to harm their reputation.
You know, I should have hired you because I had tried and had people try to or attempt to edit mine or at least one specific thing off of it so many times, and it keeps reappearing.
Look what we just changed.
Wait a second. That's not right. So if I go...
I don't know. We just edited it and did it.
Yeah, but that's not going to show up. That's so funny.
Oh.
Isaac up in the front of the van just edited Novak's Wikipedia to say that he was married to Steve.
Hey, I appreciate the love there, Isaac. Fucking yeah.
But interesting. I'm sure that we've you know, of course, we've talked about your skateboarding career, but a moment when you're sponsored by Powell Peralta, as well on the same team as Tony Hawk, who discovered you.
Well, Bucky did.
Okay.
So and they'll just fucking throw things in there that they've heard or hearsay, and that's like not a true thing.
Okay, but it says on your Wikipedia that there was a point when your substance abuse was discovered that it was Tony Hawk who said you've got two choices: either quit the team, you're off the team, or you got to go to rehab.
Yeah, it was not Hawk. It was Todd Hastings, who was my team manager at the time, who worked with Powell, and then he had kind of got that from the rest of the team. It was a unanimous group decision of like, give him a chance, get himself sorted, or like, you have to go.
Right. And, okay, so Wikipedia got it wrong. It wasn't Tony Hawk.
No.
But in response to that ultimatum, you said, all right, dude, I'm off the team.
Yeah, it was just easier that way. It was best for everyone involved.
Yeah, I bet.
In hindsight, looking back, it was, you know, it really just allowed me to escape any form of responsibility. It allowed me to escape having to show up and be dependable and reliable and kind of just avoid anything that was positive in my life. It was just easier to take the fast route, and I had learned that after years of therapy, which I'm like really heavily into now, that I had learned from my father. You know, my father kind of raised me with these things that were not going to be conducive to a productive lifestyle in any way.
Was your father ever in your life?
He was around like just enough to let us know he wasn't around. You know, he ran with the Hells Angels, and he was a fucking biker, and he never had a job one day in his life that I can remember. He was like a sue happy guy. He would just sue people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he sued his father, who he had worked for, my grandfather. He always just would be, you know, I remember him teaching me like if and when I went to prison, how to conduct myself, right? So I was kind of...
At what age?
At like 7 and 8, he was taking me to the strip joint with him. And when he would go in the back and like conduct business, they'd put me on the bar stools with the dancing girls, and they would pour me shots of like ginger ale and Coca-Cola. And I would do the shots.
And how old were you at that point?
I was about 7-ish.
Nice.
I remember, you know, at 9, he bought me a machete for my birthday, and he like made me keep it in the freezer. Why, I have no idea. Accompanied with a little 50 Zinger dirt bike and a pair of chaps.
He made you keep a dirt bike in the freezer?
No, the machete.
Yeah, why? What is the reason for keeping a knife in a freezer? It keeps the blades sharp.
I mean, it's just fucking meth head logic at its finest.
Yeah, was he doing a lot of meth?
Yeah, he was really disconnected from any form of reality.
It's a shame, because being disconnected from reality is not the way to succeed. If you want to succeed, you connect to not only reality, but to an audience, and you make money with that audience. That's how you succeed, ladies and gentlemen. And the way to do it is with Shopify, because Shopify is the gold standard for e-commerce. Whether you have a website or not, no matter what size your business is, Shopify is the way way to grow and to succeed. I'm telling you, man, I've had websites for decades now. And only when I got on Shopify did everything click together, because it works with every little facet of e-commerce. And you can try it for just $1 per month. If you go to shopify.com/Stevo, make sure that's all in lowercase. Shopify.com/Stevo. I mean, you can build a website from scratch so easily, and it is the gold standard of websites for e-commerce. So one more time, for $1 per month, as risk-free as you can get, go to shopify.com/Stevo and make sure that's all lowercase. Now let's get back to it.
I mean, at that young of an age, did you know like he was a drug addict at that time?
I knew that he was doing things that he always told me not to talk about outside of the house. So, I could see, I was kind of catching on. And when he'd smoke herb, obviously I'd smell it. I remember at around 8, we had this big house in the country with a few acres in the backyard. And we had this in-ground pool. And I remember one day, him and his biker buddies were bitching that the pool was cold. So they emptied the pool and just pulled out brushes and painted it black, thinking that like the sun would hit the pool. And then one day my mother came home early from work, which she normally never did. Talking about like a divine inconvenience here. My father's name was Jerome. His father's name was Jerome. Around 8, 9 years old, I'm on the back porch while the biker guys are partying, and my father calls me out, and he pulls out this paperwork, and he says, "I need you to sign this." And I have the pen to the paper. My mother happens to come home early, and she said, "Rome, what are you doing?" And he had went to his attorney and had papers drafted up to have my name changed to Jerome.
How old were you at that point?
Around 9.
So you can't sign any legal documents when you're 9 years old. That's not legit.
I have no idea what it was, but he went to his attorney, who was Jerry Suka, because then my mother went and got an attorney and like fucking made a whole issue about that.
Yeah, but they probably could, because like he's with his guardian and he signed it.
I mean, I have trouble believing that any like.
How did you guys afford the house if you never had a job? Was he like doing like off the books type of money
he
shit?
grew a lot of herb in the basement of that house. Like they kind of built out fake walls and behind it.
Oh wow!
And I remember that because when we were trying to sell the house, when my mother finally was getting the first divorce, we'd have the real estate agent coming over, and he would like insist that I do not like point out these rooms.
Wow, that was at a time when, sure, you can build the fake walls and everything, but the electricity bill would give you away.
And that's what he would. So what he would do is, this was in Baltimore, so we had BG&E, Baltimore Gas and Electric.
Yeah, the electricity bill would be higher because of the lights that you use to grow the weed, and that would trip off.
100%. So what he would do is he would get in with one of these guys from the BG&E, and they would come out and they would put like, and I could totally be wrong about this, what exactly it was, but like a piece of copper or metal in the reader in between something to like break down how much watts it was receiving to ultimately lower the bill. Or
Wow.
it was like a whole thing.
Did you ever visit your dad in jail?
I would go with my grandmother. We would go to visit him, and he would always like have tons of debt in jail because he would gamble and he would lose. He was a terrible gambler. He was a fucking degenerate by all means. And my grandmother would bring cartons of cigarettes, and I remember that as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you look like your dad now?
I became fucking him on angel dust. I kind of at the end made him look like chump change. Rome was like the life of the party. Everyone loved him. He'd walk in the bar, he'd buy everyone a shot, cut everybody a line. Real charismatic ladies man.
Yeah.
Unfaithful as all get out. And so we'd be like in the middle of the night, my mother would wake me up and we'd have to go search the streets for her car because at the end when he was getting bad, she was working and there was only one car and we'd like catch him in the car with other women in the bar parking lot. And so we would like run and move in the middle of the night and I couldn't stand it, like really despised him. And then I'd come home from skating, like me and Bucky and everyone would be out skating. And I'd come home and he would just be in the kitchen of whatever new house we moved to, cooking dinner like nothing ever happened. Like, and so that would like, skateboarding at that age, it raised me. It kind of took care of me, really.
Can anybody believe how insane Bucky skating is now? Like,
It's fucking better with time. It's insane.
It's like he just posted something just like in the last week or so. And I'm just like, what the hell?
He's doing these whole
We've been
switch
asking a lot
runs.
about like Mount Rushmores. Who's your Mount Rushmore of skating? Is Bucky on there?
Mount Rushmore of skating. What are our criteria? And
The goats of the skating.
we
world.
gotta have Rodney Mullen. You gotta have
Tony Hawk,
Tony Hawk.
Danny Way.
I always loved Colin McKay. His style was insane. I was a big style guy.
I mean, you know, like,
Look at that. I'll switch.
but then again, Nodis,
Yeah.
you know,
Matt
it's
Hensley.
almost like Nodis or Gons. you
Mike
know?
Vallely. Video parts. Him running through that graveyard.
I mean, you were talking about video parts. Jamie Thomas.
Yeah.
Jamie Thomas, welcome to hell. Get the hell out.
Who was that guy that was just on Hawk
Guy
and
Mariano.
Wolf that was like a younger kid skating, and they're like they couldn't believe the stuff that he was
That
doing.
tech dude.
Have you seen that clip of that kid skating Tony Hawk's ramp? You know what I'm talking about, Isaac?
Oh yeah, Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's great, man.
I mean, this is stuff that's like never been done before, right?
no,
Oh,
not
yeah.
Anthony Anderson. Andy Anderson.
That's the kid that wears the helmet.
I mean, you'd have
Yeah.
to throw
That's Powell.
Day One on there too.
Andy Anderson. I love that kid.
Well, what about
Okay.
Chad Muska?
I mean,
He's definitely respected.
Muska was.
He gets the street creds.
There was a point where Muska was at the top of the heap,
For sure.
like really alone at the top of the heap, like the biggest star in skating. But I just think that at that time, you like when you're going for the goats, like it's really you're talking about like complete innovation. You know, like who innovated? Like every street trick was invented by Rodney Mullen. He innovated it. You know, like Nodis. I mean, really, Nodis was the first one to be boosting ollies on flat ground. Like so. And I just don't know that Muska really, he took things to a crazier level, and he brought like rock stardom. To
Yeah, are we talking like
skateboarding.
Yeah,
board
kinda like an
sales
era.
too, merch sales, like
Right.
How,
Then what-
I mean, I love Muska. Don't get me wrong. I love Muska.
Yeah.
It's just tough. Like everything was popping so hard when he came into the mix already.
yeah, I mean, but if we are talking merch sales and making the sport popular, like maybe we have to throw Bam in there.
I mean, Bam sold more
Absolutely.
You know,
skateboards than
like,
anybody.
yeah.
He turned more people into skaters that otherwise
Yeah,
never would even
absolutely.
fucking glance twice.
He was selling more boards than Tony Hawk, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like a lot more. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of pro model skateboards, you never had a Brandon Novak pro model skateboard until the Heart Supply.
Correct. At the time when I was with Powell, they were like sending me prototype shapes. So I was designing shapes.
Oh wow!
And just fucking random prototypes.
And
Concave.
how old were you at that point? Like
That
15,
was
16?
16, right
So-
before I was about to check out.
You were pro at what age?
So I didn't get.
You never.
Oh,
I
you
never
never
got
had
the
a pro mo- okay.
I
You
was.
never got the pro
Yeah,
model.
I was fucking with shapes and getting prototypes.
Sorry,
and-
I haven't been listening.
Yeah.
To this
Okay.
week.
but were you getting checks though?
No.
No checks.
No checks. No
Straight-
checks. Just
straight-
touring.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Flow
touring
and
with
am.
the whole team and like full on.
But doesn't that mean you're like? How do you become pro? I mean, you're skating
Then,
around
like
with
the
Tony Hawk.
definition of a professional skateboarder is you have to have a skateboard with your name on it, like a pro model, and they sell your board with your name on it.
That's the criteria.
That is the definition for a pro skater.
So that was kind of like the why behind the Heart Supply board. I had put out, I think it was at my 7 years or something like that, a video part. I went to Barcelona and I filmed a full-on part, and that came out accompanied with this board, and it was kind of like the full circle moment of like, I finished what I had set out to start, to do in the
Yeah.
beginning. Not that by any means, like, could it contend with, the who's who of skaters today, but really for me, it was just
For a personal journey.
Yeah, it was a really, really beautiful moment
Of
internally. And now today's skating is, and maybe you can relate, is just such for mental health. Like it's the only thing that puts me in the moment. Like even if I'm failing at a
You
trick,
got to try skydiving.
yeah, I'm fucking terrified of
You
that.
never done skydiving?
Nothing puts you in the moment like skydiving.
I could imagine. But skateboarding is what does it for me now. Like, and I didn't realize that until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What year was it when you're 16 years old? Let me see here. I was 16
92.
in 1990, and I'm 5 years older than you.
You were born in 78?
So
Yeah.
you were 1995.
Yeah,
You were-
yeah.
so
Because I was supposed to graduate high school in '96.
And 1995 was like almost the lowest point in skateboarding. Like as skateboarding ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
It was like at its least popular at that point. Right?
Absolutely. I remember I had like size 38 jeans, and 38 millimeter wheels and the
Yeah.
super small wheels.
Yeah.
Jinko?
Yeah, and like a medium shirt. So the fucking
The X Games started out, it was called the Extreme Games. And everybody was like,
Yeah.
oh, barf. Like, calling stuff extreme is so lame.
I mean, Matt Dove was in that contest and wrote on his shirt like bucking against it. He got a lot of.
And I think that the first Extreme Games was 1996, right? It was like the Extreme Games kind of breathed life into skateboarding, I feel like.
But you said that was at a low point. Was that when Toss Papas was... When was he on the run for murder? Or what?
That would have
was
been
later.
like Tuss, his heyday of skating was like 97.
Because I remember seeing the documentary, and they were at the X Games, right? Like they were representing XYZ.
Well, there was a 900 competition featured in that, which happened at an ASR convention.
Oh,
Like, But in any case, the Hard Supply skateboard finally comes out. Mm-hmm. And how did it do? Did you get good checks from that?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But again, it wasn't even like from a financial perspective of where I wanted to cash in. It was just overcoming this like obstacle that I had always, the full circle moment, like, to take it way back after like, from a kid, Bam and I would always skate at this park called Cheapskates. That's how Bucky and I had met Bam before Bam was sponsored. Bucky and I would drive up from Baltimore to skate this park called Cheapskates, and we met Bam there with his father. And Bam wasn't sponsored, and Bam was trying to get us to get him on PAL. And it didn't work out for whatever the reasons were, but he was really good, and we became thick as thieves, like best friends.
They might have been thick as thieves, but that's nothing compared to the way you and your cat are going to be after you stop feeding it stupid kibble and start feeding it actual food. That's right, man. Plus, get ready for the most generous offer that has ever been made to the listeners of the Wild Ride podcast. I'm talking about 50% off plus free shipping. That's how confident the makers of Smalls cat food are. That's right. You get 50% off plus free shipping, and this is for fresh, refrigerated cat food that's protein packed and actual food that your cat will love. They're so confident, man. There's nothing to risk here. You send it back, get your money back if your cat doesn't love it. To get this deal, you go to smalls.com/Stevo and use the promo code Stevo. And there it is, man. Be good to your cat, improve your relationship, and keep your cat healthy, man, by going to smalls.com/Stevo and using the promo code Stevo at checkout. Yeah, dude. Now let's get back to it.
And continue to skate, and we would practice every year for the NSAs, National Skateboarding Association contest in Bricktown, New Jersey.
Was the NSA started by Tony Hawk's dad?
I don't know who it was started by.
Okay.
I don't know the history of it. But either every year he would win or I'd win the mini ramp contest. And one year I didn't go to that contest, and Bam goes to Bucky. He's like, "Yo, where's Novak?" And Bucky's like, "I think he's on heroin." And Bam's like, "What's that?" Like at such a young age, he had no idea what that even meant.
wait, I'm sorry. What age was that?
It was probably, I'd say, I'm probably about 17 at that point, 16, late
And
16.
Bam's a year younger than you.
Yeah, so it was like 15.
Yeah, he's not what's heroin at that point.
And I'm pretty sure he was. I mean, you have to look at kind of his upbringing in the suburbs and just really, he just was in skateboarding. Like he was ignorant to all of that. Like really. So Bam's career continues to excel. He creates the CKY movies, gets sponsored by Toy Machine, and works up the way up the ladder there. And I avoid skateboarding like the plague, right? Like the loved one that I'd let get away, because it was my love, and I totally just fucking gave it away to addiction, and it was just so heartbreaking that I avoided it at all costs. Nonetheless, on this day, I was like really sick, and I couldn't come up with any money. And I go into the skate shop in Baltimore, which I'd never done, to try to get money. And they're like, we're not going to give you any money, but Bam was here a few days ago with the Toy Machine team doing a demo, and he asked if we ever saw you. And we said no, and he said, well, here's my number. Give it to him when you see him, and if he wants to get himself together, to call me. And that was how I had connected and got back into this whole scene. So coming from that point of just like wanting no part of it, so heartbroken, like pissed my dream away by putting needles in my arm 24/7, to then at 45 or probably 44, coming out with this part, and like I was really happy with it. I put a lot of effort and time and hard work into it. It was just like a...
So wait, you're 45 now.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, about 43-ish.
Okay.
42, 43. But like sober.
Was that the part where you did the nose grind on the curb? Like you battled for it. It was like, God.
Yes.
It was like the second step.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yep.
And then you brought
No, that was not in the part. That wasn't in the part. I did that later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was...
Dude, I'm impressed with your skateboarding. Like when you skated my ramp at the...
That was so
at the
fun,
house,
man.
Like I was just like, damn. The nose blonde, just the consistency of... I was like, man.
Yeah, this is that part I filmed in Barcelona.
I think, that kickflip Mayday was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by your skating, and I love how much you love it.
Dude, I love it as much as I love drugs and alcohol. And that's why I fucking consume my life with it still today. Right?
Yeah.
I can't get enough of both of them. So people are like, you fucking don't ever shut the fuck up about recovery. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't stop doing heroin.
Come on.
When
I'm not sure if you guys know, but I'm a sober guy here.
when did you meet like Deco and all the guys?
I met Deco through Bam, obviously, during that time of the CKY videos.
Well, okay, but like we were talking about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, it'd be fun to ask Novak like what bits for Jackass and Viva La Bam that like he actually wrote, like what ideas did you come up with that maybe never got shot, like the ideas that you did, who came up with them? And Vinny said, yeah, in CKY. And I'm like, Novak wasn't in CKY,
Yeah.
Were you in CKY 2K?
Yeah.
Vinny said you were,
Yeah.
but just as a skater skating.
No, I was in like the one bit where we're playing Texas Hold'em in the back porch, and I bet a gold chain that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And Deco wins it.
How old were you then?
Fuck. Dude,
I mean, you would have been 21.
probably, yeah.
Or 20.
That was when Bam was kind of like, yo, come live with me and get off heroin if you want to get your life together.
So that's when you met Deco.
Yeah.
Around that time,
Yeah.
21.
And
Are you in touch with Deco at all?
No. Even then, like all of those guys, I got along great with all of them. But Deco was never, I don't think, too much of a fan of me.
I also think Deco...
Or I just wasn't his kind of guy for whatever reason.
Probably the heroin.
I wasn't too trustworthy.
I believe that's possibly true.
Sure.
I also think that Deco just isn't a social creature so much. So
I
what
also
you
believe
felt
that.
was aimed, like what you felt was you. Maybe it just wasn't him.
Yeah. I mean, I always feel like it's all about me.
Sure,
and
of course.
It
was so crazy to who was it that put me in touch with Deco?
His buddy emailed me, and then I forwarded it over to you.
And dude, like I got on the phone with him. I talked to him, like
Really?
yeah, and we were talking about
Linking up.
like linking up, like him doing like new stuff, and I was like, man, like it's dude, the
Whatever happened to that?
the internet would so go crazy.
Absolutely.
For new Deco stuff.
People don't stop talking about him.
Yeah.
I saw recently.
I mean, dude, if we're honest, Deco alone was more talented than the entire cast of Jackass put together. I really believe that. You know, just the way that he made magic out of nothing. You know, like with.
Did you ever party with them, or was when you guys were done filming, CKY went one way, Jackass guys went the other way?
You know the way that I would have described Deco, I used to, like you know the movie Road Trip.
Yeah.
Like Tom Green's character,
Yeah.
like will not leave the town. You know, like he will not go anywhere. Like he's like a creature of habit. He's got to stay. In, you know, like it just. I don't think that that Deco had it in him to like move around. You know, like it made him uncomfortable on some level. I think
that was one of the. I remember the biggest obstacles with him and Viva La Bam is, you know, because they wanted to shoot all over and he just would not go the majority of the time.
Really?
Trying to get him to travel. Like I remember too at one point, and I hope that none of this is like upsetting to Deco or disrespectful, because that's the last thing I'd want to do. I remember him saying like that because he quit Jackass. He just declined to be a part of it. He was part of it through the TV show. Which was easy because they filmed all this stuff in Pennsylvania. But then when it came time to actually do the movie, he just straight declined to be in the movie. He said, I don't want to be in the movie.
But would he have gotten the same offer as Bam would have gotten, or different pay scale?
I don't know about Bam. I think Bam had a like very elevated situation, like producer credits. Like I think like, but because Bam was... I mean,
but would he have been on a higher pay scale, or just like everybody else would?
He would have been in a principal cast member for sure. He would have been the same as Don. He would have been the same as me.
But I think at least for, I believe, with Viva La Bam and some other just business entities, one of the things he had an issue with that I recall was like not wanting to give 10 or 15% to a manager.
But
So
not just that. I remember him saying to me, he's like, dude, like I'm like do this, like be a part of this, like just to make like greedy corporate dickheads rich.
Totally.
You know, I'm not doing this to make like corporations rich. And I was like, all right, so
I mean, you're gonna get rich either way. So.
I was like, all right, so like, don't do anything and don't make any money for anybody. Like that doesn't seem like the answer. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make these corporate people as rich as I possibly can, and in the process, like become a monster.
Yeah.
Like and then leave the break out of the lab.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a process of paying your dues.
No doubt.
I really believe that that's what Jackass was like. It was, we got paid an opportunity.
I mean, I was never like a cast member, right? I'd have like fucking...
Unless you ask TMZ when they're promoting their new Matthew Perry special.
I am.
Jackass
fucking Jackass.
star.
I am.
Jackass
good.
star Brandon Novak.
and that is a prime example of using that platform to break out into something else.
Sure.
So that's really what I will do all day long to promote kind of what I believe in my heart of hearts is opportunity for resources that people that might not know are available, right? Like I kind of look at it from that perspective, and I do it all day.
What's going on with the Matthew Perry?
Okay, if I can paraphrase, because I get my news from TMZ. You say about how you'd go into doctor's offices and get drugs for prescriptions for merchandise.
Well, I would trade swag to... So you would go to these pill mills, right? And it's just, you pay cash. Sometimes you need an MRI. Sometimes you don't. You go back. A doctor doesn't even get up, and he just kind of writes you scripts of a whole bunch of Perk 30s and Xanax bars in my case. And there would always be like a younger, hot receptionist. So I would go in and just play that card of being this guy and have all this swag of all this stuff from Element and anywhere
all the
else
stuff
I
that
could
you stole from Bam's garage.
the majority of it, absolutely. But anything I could get my hands on and just play that card.
So what? You're going up to the receptionist and be like, I'm Brandon Novak.
Because what
Jack.
they would, well, I wouldn't be that direct. At least I think that I did a
He
little
was
more.
very
What size are you?
very, very smooth,
Debonair as
classy.
Yeah.
fucking.
So you would go and
You would have to like. They would only see you like once every 3 weeks because if they're writing you more scripts than that and you're trying to cash them, like then you end up on that radar.
Yeah.
But I would like finesse the front desk ladies, with free swag, free stuff that was signed.
But it's not the decision of the receptionist whether or not a prescription gets written.
No, but it's the decision up to her whether you can go back and see the doctor. And the doctor's
gatekeeper.
so fucking busy. He's not looking at like what script he wrote last for
okay.
who. He just sits there and doesn't even lift his head up from the desk and just jots them. So she is the gatekeeper.
And so what do you go to the doctor and say, like, I don't feel good? Could I have...
They know exactly what it is. It's written. It's already predetermined why you're there. I mean, it's lines out the door. It's a fucking swap meet in the parking lot of people selling their pills and trading them to other people.
You ever get a hold of a pad, a script pad?
Now, I'm not claiming to know anything about prescription pads, but I do know that if you go to bluechew.com and use the promo code STEVO, you can consult with the medical provider and get a prescription for Blue Chew tablets in like a couple minutes. And why would you want to do that? Because it's going to help you perform at your absolute best. That's how I perform about 30 minutes after I take a Blue Chew tablet and I lead my Lady Lux into the bedroom. It is like the best that I possibly can perform, and that's why I love it. I think you're going to love it too. And if you want to try it, again, you go to bluechew.com, you use the promo code STEVO, and you will get an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. A whole month's supply of Blue Chew tablets, which have the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis. I mean, come on. All you pay is $5 for shipping. So head on over to bluechew.com, use the promo code STEVO, get ready to have a really good time, and now let's ride this baby home with Novak.
Yeah, that's what I went to fucking prison for.
We talked about
Yeah,
that.
because my buddy did 5 years for that.
Yeah, it's gnarly. I did a year in a day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then, what's the tie-in? So you were talking to TMZ.
It's about how
So they reached out.
doctors will throw away their Hippocratic oath, all of their ethics, like to give preferential treatment or whatever. But they're swayed by celebrity.
Which I totally believe happens for sure. I've been with BAMs more time than I can count. We've gotten pulled over, completely annihilated, loaded, and the cop just fucking pats him on the back, gets a picture, and just get home safe now. Like, I've seen that happen more times than I can fucking remember.
For sure.
Caught with drugs and just kind of looked the other way. So they reached out to my publicist and was like, hey, we'd like to talk to him about this. Would he be interested? So I was like, sure.
You got a publicist for primarily the rehab, the treatment center business?
Yeah, but as far as just really any media or speaking engagements that I do, she handles.
Speaking engagements,
yeah,
okay.
more so that. So I saw that this as a great opportunity to again provide resources and just be kind of an example of what sobriety could be, and or that it's just possible. So I said, well, I own this treatment center. If you'd like to come, and at my facility, I'm there 5 days a week when I'm not traveling. I run my 9 a.m. group every day. I'm like crazy hands-on with the clients. And I said, why don't you guys come and film me do one of my lectures? And that was great. And they came and did that. And then we get back to my house for the second part. And they set up a monitor. And that's where Harvey starts to interview me. And what was tough, and I got really, I learned a valuable life lesson with it because I was so stoked. I'm like, dude, this could be great. It could really bring a lot of awareness and do a lot of good, and kind of fucking be careful what you ask for because sometimes you get it. And then I get it. And when I get into the interview, it just comes out, he kind of comes out of the gate as in the beginning what I thought was just going to be like a TMZ piece. Like who's who, who's doing what, where are they at? And I don't like talk about
What do you mean
people.
who's who, who's doing what?
It's just, the gossip. Wanted a lot of gossip. and I was just. I was really being careful with how and what I said because I knew that it could be cut or edited to make me just look like one of those people that just want to kind of throw my name in the ring to get some screen time and say whatever the fuck needs to be said. And I was really nervous. I still haven't watched it. I won't watch it, but I heard that it can't. I didn't come across in a bad way.
I mean, they describe it as an expose of celebrity drug rings, like where because they're celebrities, they're allowed to like get drugs and whatever. Like, how would you know?
I had this one doctor that would come with me when we had a radio show on Sirius Satellite, and we would do it live from Bam's house, and he would come with me from Baltimore, and he worked at Mercy Hospital, and just to be a part of it and come and experience that, he'd fucking throw me a few scripts like written of whatever I wanted.
Wow.
And I'm just kind of like somewhat a gatekeeper to way more important people in their eyes than I fucking am. But as an addict, I'm totally.
Did you tell that? I mean,
taking
that's a perfect example
I
of
told,
what
yeah.
you told them about that on the
for
TMZ
sure.
story.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my deal, you know.
When
I went on to Howard Stern's show, and I like lick Richard Christie's asshole, and
amazing,
and that was phenomenal. But before I went on, Artie Lang had given me a subutext. I was like ill that day, and he gave me a subutext, and this was like right when they came into the States, and I had known that, like, you know, he had the #1 show at the time. So before I even went in on that show, I went to like people that own businesses, and I'm like, if I say your business, you give me like $2,000. And like, yeah, so I fucking name dropped like whatever and walked out. So I always had an angle with whatever I was going into to support and prolong my addiction, for
You
sure.
look like a different person there. It's so crazy.
the SiriusXM show on your Wikipedia page, it says
That's
that
my ex-fiance.
says the first time that SiriusXM ever censored one of their programs was when they shut down the feed because Bam got a prostitute, and you were actively having intercourse on the radio.
Howard Stern? Or
No, on Radio
Sirius.
Bam.
But on Sirius as a whole.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, selling their
and
deal as uncensored radio.
Look
Right.
that up. Is that you were so what? Explain that.
And it was only audio, right? There's no video feed.
Correct.
So the fact of like the audio of that happening.
So, you know, Sirius sold its whole fucking gimmick on uncensored radio, come to us, uncensored.
But sex acts.
Yeah.
Like, with the exception of that.
So we just come up with this idea, this bit one day that Bam had some Prius gave him at the time these purple like whatever cars. You could probably pull it up, and it was purple, and it had the Lamborghini doors that came up, and it's big heartograms on the side. It was just obnoxiously gaudy.
Prius?
Prius or not Prius, but some
PT Cruiser.
No, if you look it up, you could find it. They gave it to him. It was just like I forget what it was.
I'm pretty sure that Bam was
It
never
probably wasn't a
flossed in
Prius.
No.
But it was,
So Bam's purple car.
but not his purple Lamborghini. But it was a.
You're not even gonna find.
It was just a.
You're not even gonna find.
I can find out. I'll shoot Phil a text in a second. But yeah, because that's the one that's going to come up. But it's not that. But it's this obnoxiously gaudy, loud car, and it's got the purple heartograms on the door. It's even got like these kind of lights that go around the bottom. We come up with this concept that live on air. Yeah, that's it. I think right there. Yes, that's it. What is
Like a
that?
Scion.
Scion, that's what it was. Scion gave him a handful of these cars.
Handful.
Take 3 for the family.
Okay.
So we come up with this concept that I'm going to get mic'd up. I'm going to drive into North Philly, and I'm going to acquire 2 hookers. And they're going to audio the whole deal, the negotiation. We're going to get said hookers, and I'm going to bring them back to the studio, which is where we're doing the live the live show out of his house. They set that whole studio up, and we would go live every week. And I'm going to bring these 2 hookers in, and we're going to proceed to have a threesome live on air. And now, earlier in the day, I think his manager had got word. People started getting nervous, and obviously, as you can relate, the more everyone was like, no, and the legal of Sirius was like, you cannot do this. We're like, fuck yeah, it's happening. And lo and behold, we do all of that, go get the 2 hookers, bring them back, and as soon as like we full on like start to have like a threesome on meth, just like almost like fighting, just so aggro to do this.
like
they,
a threesome.
They turn the, it's like they pulled the plug totally.
Like a threesome on meth or a threesome on meth?
Well, we weren't doing blow. Thanks for the clarification. Dude, I totally skimmed over that.
So were you actually
And
like?
for some reason, telling the story, I didn't want to talk about how I copped blow on the way down. I don't know why I felt like that wasn't appropriate to say in this story. But I also got blow from the 2 hookers because they were in North Philly, which is a heavily.
So you were actually boning on air.
Yeah, but we didn't even get that far.
Before Sirius pulled the plug.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, perhaps the only time, Sirius has ever censored their programming.
I said it was the very first time it had ever been censored. And I think it was shortly thereafter that they pulled the plug on Radio Bam. Yeah.
I mean, Radio Bam was a devolving art.
It's so funny to think because I remember the time we thought we were getting fucking gold. Dude, we'd leave that room feeling like we just did the most productive goddamn thing ever, and we would justify why going and really getting fucked up was okay. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But then people go back and they listen to the show like, dude, this show is a fucking nightmare. It's all over the place. You're slurring, you know.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down a little bit? There's something I want you to clear up over here. It talks about your stunt in Scranton, Pennsylvania at a rehab, and you got kicked out for having heroin pills on you, and you said that somebody planted them in your bag. Is that true?
What are heroin pills?
I don't know. Whatever it was, pills.
They do come in pill form in Baltimore. But no one ever planted heroin on me. I could never be so lucky. Fuck you.
It says he was kicked out of rehab in Scranton after heroin pills were found in his bag. Novak claimed that the pills were planted on him.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true or false?
That's absolutely false. Dude, I could never be so lucky to have anyone ever spike me, drug me, or plant drugs in my possession.
We can take this off of Wikipedia now. I was worried about that.
Okay, so SiriusXM censors you boning.
Yeah.
Was that before or after you properly boned on camera in the porno movie?
Well, that was probably around the same era, same time.
And
that's what I had tried to have taken off
that.
so many
Oh,
times.
that's what you wanted to have taken off your full sex role in Fantastic Horrors 4.
Part 4, yeah. That was my real claim to fame. And I remember, man.
And Bam was in it too, but in
And Carrie Getz skating in the it was in the skate barn, full on skate session. And the storyline is I try, and I'm a full blown heroin addict. You can find a shot of it probably.
Who's the porn star?
Okay, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
like, to be an adult film star and be on camera, you've got to be rigorously tested for STDs. Right? Like,
but no, go down.
Yeah, go down to the left.
how does an intravenous?
Does that guy look like he was rigorously tested for anything?
Bro, can you get a poster of that and put it up in my house, dude? Was it a good
woman?
Was it good?
Dude, no. So here, the storyline. That's day 2. I'll get to day 2 in a second. I'm engaged at this time, by the way. But this is before like phones are a big thing. So social media, the internet's nothing I have to worry about. But Travis Knight and Gina Lynn, which were the people that owned this production company and pretty big porn stars, wanted to film a porn on Bam's fucking compound in the skate or somewhere. And I'm like, dude, let me do it. And like, okay. So the storyline is I'm going to try a 900 on this fucking 13-foot oververt wall. I'm going to break my pelvis, and these 2 or 3 chicks are going to pull in these little nurse fucking outfits on this doom buggy, pick me up, take me to the top of the A-frame and just have a full-on fucking threesome, right? To bring me back to life and nurse my broken pelvis. So the first day that happens, but I'm a crazy heroin addict, right? I can get hard, but the thought of coming is non-existent. Like, it just never happens to an opiate addict, right? So
is that true, Vinny?
Yes, very true.
So,
but when you're withdrawing,
yeah, well, I wasn't withdrawing.
no, yeah.
Withdrawing, I come in a fucking blink of an eye.
Exactly. See, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah, okay, you were telling me that.
Yeah, but that's why I always hated going to rehab, and I'd be in detox, and I'd always wake up with these wet dreams.
Yes.
And I, like, don't have underwear, and
Yes.
I'm on the top bunk, and so I got to get down and fucking scrub my. It's a bitch. But so I'm doing this. They're up there. They're doing their job, and fucking sucking and about 2 to 2.5 hours later, nothing is happening. The filmers are checked out, the chicks are checked out, and they're just like, fuck, but they're still in it, right? Their game face is on, and finally, about like
and this is like, again, no rigorous testing, and
Nothing.
you're having intercourse.
Nothing.
You're an intravenous heroin user.
Yes.
Shooting up probably dirty needles.
Yes.
You could not be more of a high risk
Hazard.
person. And like, it's just not legal for you to
No.
be participating in this film.
and nor should I have, right? Looking back, and this is, I talk about this now, and my hope
Is that production company still active?
I doubt it, because I think they've both moved on.
I mean, what's this girl doing now? She's like a mother of 3 kids and works as a real estate
and the
agent.
reason why I'm so open to talk about it now is because my angle is to hopefully allow people to see how much of a change could happen, right? If you really want to better your life, like, it is possible. Because I'm no longer doing porns. I'm no longer fucking shooting heroin. I'm just not.
How many
that guy.
porns have you been in?
Well, 2. But this is the same porn, but twice. So here. Well, it gets better, right? So I'm finally, everyone's checked out, and they just want the money shot, and finally, it's coming. I feel it. Like, I'm gonna come, right? And I'm like, it's coming. Everyone gets in position, fucking locked. They got the angle. They're ready, and they're waiting for like fireworks to shoot out of my cock. And Vinny, you can attest, literally just like barely a drop just drips out. Everyone's so fucking furious.
Yep.
Right? So I finish it. Reality kind of sets in. I'm like, dude, my fiance's gonna find out.
Now you're worried about your fiance.
Before he's worried about it.
I came. As soon as you come, reality sets in.
It's coming battery acid.
And I'm like, fuck, dude. And I'm like, dude. And they're like, well, we got to fucking do a new shoot tomorrow. This was unacceptable. We can't. And I'm like, dude, I'll do it. I'm like, I was just sick, under the weather. I totally will perform. Cut to the next day. So the first shoot, Carrie gets, bam, everyone's skating in the background of this fucking terrible scene. But then the next day, there's a paintball battle, a paintball war. And I think, like, my storyline is I go to the chick and I'm like, it's a war out there and I don't want to get killed. Come suck my cock. Something so insane. So that's that shot right there. And I got her to...
Dude, who's writing these storylines? God.
I got her to change her name in that movie to whatever her first name was, Novak.
Wow.
And then...
you look convincing.
They wouldn't... I had to give them my ID, right? Because for legal reasons...
They were worried about it.
They had given me like whatever money, but then they needed me to sign something. I had to show them my ID. So I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking signing anything or giving you an ID until you cough up another few grand. And Travis Knight, who's a pretty big guy, he's like, Novak, I swear to God, if you fucking do this, as soon as I get your ID, I'm giving you a fucking dirt nap. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't even know what a dirt nap is. I show up, give him the fucking thing, and he knocks me straight out. And that was my career with porn.
Took a dirt nap.
Oh, no, wait. Best part here. Fuck, how'd I forget this? This is my claim to fame in life. This scene, right? Remember, I promised you that I was going to do better the next time. I was just sick. I was under the weather. I can't come again. Travis Knight, who's a real porn star, comes in, and a stunt cock performs for me.
He's just like, Novak, if you don't bust a nut, I'm going to give you a dirt
He
nap.
comes in.
Isn't it like switching out like a French fry with like
a fucking hoagie? Yeah, dude, my dick's like unkept, unmanaged, unwashed, and then all of a sudden you get this big, glossy, like all-American grade A cock that just comes fireworks. Like, the whole thing was just terrible. terribly great, I guess, at one point in time. But then the chick who I was engaged to left me over that, but then she took me back, and I was like, I always had a conscience, and I'm like, I don't want her family to see this when they Google me. And so I tried to take it down a lot, but I appreciate your diligence up there for fucking finding it.
The XXX bunker.
So you tried to take it down a lot, but now you don't want it to be
I've
taken
just
down.
given up. Like, dude, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm not going to allow that to kind of consume me or rent space in my head. It was something I did in the past, and if I look at it properly...
That doesn't define you.
Dude. Fuck, man.
It's fantastic.
I mean, I've never been a guy that's been known for making, like, morally sound decisions. Then. But I love to pull that stuff up to show people that, like, the transition and difference a day can make.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So now you are in Los Angeles
Yeah.
for a speaking engagement.
Me and Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah. We're giving a talk tomorrow night. And ironically enough, so I also do talks for the DEA. And they called me today, and I'm talking to them, and they're like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing this thing in LA, this talk." And like, "With who and where?" And I'm like, "Oh, with the guy, the actor Danny Trejo." And they're like, "Be careful." And I'm like, "Why?" And like, he's got a lot of strong ties to the Mexican mafia. So they're pretty like, I don't know what that is.
What would you need to be careful about?
I don't know.
There was a thing around who's the actor guy with the like the acne marks, like the and maybe it was the movie American History X. Some guy was like fully like, God, man. This guy was a marked man for the Mexican mafia, and Danny Trejo like got him a pass or something like that.
It's interesting. I was doing an event with them once. They believe it or not, they have me as their like keynote speaker for this thing that they throw in all these different states called the 360-degree opioid summit, right? And so they bring me in, and they ironically like the DEA like pays me to give these talks.
So you're a paid informant
for the DEA, right?
Wow.
Going from fucking stunt cocks and porns to becoming a paid informant for the DEA.
Congratulations.
All right.
I don't tell anyone.
Snitches get stitches, bro.
But so the ironic thing is, I'm at this event once, and I'm backstage, and it was me, Jack Osborne, and Dr. Drew, right? And it was at the Dolby Theater here. We were doing this event for them, and they introduced us to one of these ladies who I just would have thought like could have been anyone, a secretary, an agent, who knows? And they're like, that woman there, she just brought down like the biggest kingpin since Pablo Escobar of 2022. And you would never guess, and like it's pretty interesting to see things like that.
Yeah, wow.
Random question, but are you buddies with Eddie Furlong?
I know him through Andy Roy.
Oh, okay.
And he's a great guy. He's been nothing but nice to me.
I really think he's awesome.
Me too.
I feel like we want to get him on here.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I like him. He seems very genuine.
Yeah.
He's doing the deal. So so I'm out here doing that. And then I go back.
How much of your revenue is coming from these speaking engagements?
I don't really kind of clock it like that. I should definitely be way more on top of it. Percentage-wise?
Yeah.
Generally, I charge. I'll say yes to anybody, which is why I have a publicist and manager.
Yeah, I don't.
But I don't really know what the percentage overall is.
He's talking about which is like the money from your rehabs, the money from your skateboards,
Yeah,
the
of
money
your
of your
like,
pie chart. What percentage is speaking for your revenue?
Speaking, I would say 40%. Yeah, 40%.
And then the actual treatment centers and sober livings is the
sober
lion's
living
share.
is nothing there. Like it just it allows the houses to run, and there's no profit there. But the treatment center, the facility is 60%. You met my
there you go.
partner at the fights this weekend at Vegas. You took a picture with you in the hallway.
Cool, man.
I don't know if he said to you who he was, and I think it was just in passing. He saw.
Yeah,
you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the.
What about porn?
I walked away negative on that deal. Negative of fucking home. I got kicked out of the house over that.
You
I
lost
came
a
home.
wife.
I came home. My shit was in trash bags on the front porch. My phone was turned off because it was in her name. Bam wouldn't allow me to come back to the house because I got caught with heroin. So I was like kind of in this like.
All right, now that we're way at the back end of the episode, we're about to wrap it up. When's the last time you spoke to Bam?
It's been a minute. He reached out to my tattoo artist. He kind of stopped by there and like wanted my tattoo artist to give me Bam's new number so I could call him and like make things right. But the thing is I never
Wait.
fucking had an issue with him. Like I've never been upset. I've never been angry. My financial amends, like I make. I'm like pretty much paid up. I think I owe like $6 more grand on that goddamn Mercedes. That fucking Mercedes will be the death of me.
Was it the Mercedes or was it a Bentley?
Mercedes.
Oh, it was a Mercedes. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm like, why would I chase him down to like try to make things right when I don't believe he's, and I could be wrong. Who am I to say where he's at? But from his behaviors, I don't know if he's in a place where he's gonna hear what I'm trying to say.
What, because he's in jail for a DUI?
That's the first part of
I
it.
wonder, like, if I'm even understanding that right, if I'm hearing that correctly.
Yeah.
He wants you to have his new number so that you can reach out to him to make things right.
Yeah.
So if I'm interpreting that correctly, he's requesting that you make amends to him.
He's like summoning me to
It's like, I'm ready for you to come to me to make things right, which is a really wild one.
yeah.
You know, like, hey, Vinny, I'm ready for that amends you owe me.
You go ahead and
I'm gonna
start
using
now.
that now, dude.
Right. I mean, so yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And I'm like, I'm really in this place in my life where I learned this from my predecessors, people who have gotten sober
you mean
before
the
me, like
millions
people
of
like
people
you.
who came before?
Yeah, but people like you who I know, and like this message and story has depth and weight, who I've seen the transition take place, of like genuinely being a good person, but not like when fucking people are watching, like on my like behind closed doors when no one's paying attention, like really in my heart of hearts, and with that newfound pursuit that I'm on, I've become kind of like this empath, and I take on people's energy, and it's really draining for me to be around certain people and certain energy, and it's tough to do, especially when people's behaviors are like really erratic. So it's like, you know, that summons for me to fucking, you know,
Go
beckon
perform
his
the
command. It was like, I'd love him. I'd love to skate with him. And I think that's probably when and if we'll connect again is through a skateboard, which is usually how it works. But besides that, we really don't have a lot in common at the moment. I would do anything for him, but I don't understand me trying
Well,
to.
it's like the end of every single episode of Intervention. The family formally says, "There's nothing I won't do to help you get better, but there's nothing I will do to help you stay sick."
For sure.
So it's like, I'm here when you're ready. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're not ready, like, we just can't have a relationship because I'm not going to participate in you killing yourself.
For sure. Yeah, I firmly believe, and I've heard it through my sponsor, you never get between an alcoholic or an addict and their bottom, right?
Right.
No one, at least in my experience, I never even toyed with the notion of change until I was in a place where the appropriate amount of pain was given. Right? Like, fucking unmanageability to me is a Monday morning cup of tea. Like, I live there. You only get my attention and my willingness to do what I was never willing to do before, which is reach out, ask for help, and follow through, unless the appropriate amount of pain is fucking delivered. So
Right.
that's kind of like, and who's to say if I have the answer? I don't think any of us do. If we did, we'd bottle it up, we'd sell it, we'd be billionaire a billion times over, and the epidemic wouldn't be what it is.
Right.
I'm just doing what was done with me that worked for me. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I just know my narrative.
Tell us about the new project. Your boy Joe Franz reached out and he was like, "Hey man, can I license footage of Bam from your podcast for our new project about sobriety? And do you have any other footage of you and Bam?" And I was like, I told him the same thing. I was like, "Hey man, like I'm really trying to take a big step back from exploiting Bam, so like
Sure.
I'm like right out of the gate, like just kind of and like I just would kind of maybe encourage you guys to." And he was like, no, it's not like that. Like what we're doing is super inspirational, hopeful, come from the right place, and I was like, all right, hey, I'll tell you what, man, like help yourself to anything on the podcast. Like it's fair usage, like you can use it under fair use law.
Well, that's one of the things that I really respect about you is that, what you see is what you get, and you won't change the way you go about anything under any circumstances. And that's, to fucking say the least, commendable as all get out to me. And I strive to be that way. But the project that you're alluding to is a documentary that will be about my life that had been in production like way before any of us realized it was ever in production or knew what it was or that it was going to be a thing.
I mean, on your Wikipedia, it talks about you were gonna make a movie out of Dream Seller.
It was a thing.
And that the only way it was gonna work is if Justin Bieber was cast. Ted Fields had bought the rights to that. But yeah, that was a project that
and Bam was going to play me.
It was born and then it was killed and then
yes,
and then.
But so when Bam, all right, let's take it back to the beginning real quick. I know we're at the end, but when Bam offered me the opportunity to get out of Baltimore, when he left his number at Select Skate Shop that day for me to call and move up, and even then he was very guarded. Like he didn't give me his phone number; he gave me the number to Fairman's, the skate shop, and I called and timing is everything in this world. And when I called, he had just left Fairman's and was at Kuma, the sushi place right next door, eating. Like I'm homeless, and I put my fucking money in this payphone. Like I would have never probably called back, but he was there. They go get him, and immediately upon him bringing me up there, which is when CKY 2K and all that was happening, I was withdrawing off heroin, and he was just like filming me all the time, and he was so interested and entertained with like my fucking drug-addled stories. He just wanted to know more and more and more, and filming me and hiding cameras like when he's searching me, and then that kind of just progressed, and so there was all this footage of that era, and then later on, this production company out of Baltimore came to me by the time I had made it on Viva La Bam and was kind of a regular guy on that for a minute. And was like, we'd love to do a documentary about your life. Would you be interested? We'll pay you cash on hand for interviews. I'm like, fuck yeah, because at this time I'm still a full-blown heroin addict. So I would like beg them to come film. I'd call them every day. We filmed my father's funeral, which was at like this barroom whore through forum where they were collecting donations in a mayonnaise jar. Yeah, very Sturgis kind of atmosphere for sure. But like a lot of highs. And so we had this abundance of footage, and then it just never seemed like it was going anywhere. And around that time, my mother had bought me a plot, and like they had interviewed her, and everyone was kind of expecting my death. And then it got to a point where the pain became great enough. I took advantage of like these resources, and I not only got sober, but I stayed sober. And then the ending kind of took on a life of its own. And even throughout this whole project, it kind of like shelved for a while. And the guy who had a lot of the footage didn't want to come off of it, but couldn't. It got too big for him. So they negotiated a deal. Franz has it back. I've basically financially backed it for the most part. So it's ours, and we're doing it. It's really just that whole story. But Bam and my dynamic is really interesting in regards to, and it fucking sucks that it's this way, but it seems like, everyone gets a turn, and he is sitting in the same jail as we speak doing this podcast that I went to in the beginning of my year and a half or year and a day stay.
Really?
You know, so like, and
Are they not gonna let him out because of the probation thing?
that's between the probation officer and the prosecutor and the judge. But it looks good because he
Looks good, like they're not gonna let him out.
which is
Yeah, of
I've
course.
been saying that
That's
for a
what
long
we were
time,
saying.
dude.
For sure. I'm right there with you.
I'm not the guy that like people will come to for an easier, softer way. Like if you
For
fuck
sure.
up and I know you're on parole or probation, I'll call your probation officer. Like I'm gonna like make it really hard for you to do that thing, and it's because I love you, but I won't love you to death.
I absolutely agree. And I mean,
So that's the irony and
it's the
why.
it's the one thing that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and that's the
It's
only thing.
It's the only thing that's probably going to do it.
Well, how long does like a or a probation violation, BAM's case, multiple DUIs, like what kind of time is he looking at?
I have no idea. But I mean, it's he also wasn't apparently providing the urinalysis that were a stipulation of him being on this supervised probation for this last year. Like he wasn't showing up, so it's stacking up. You know, it's really easy to get into the system,
Yeah,
and it's fucking
and it's just
impossible to get
quicksand.
off or out.
Like
I mean,
Diddy.
if you're not doing the deal,
Yeah,
if you're not,
totally. Yeah, ironically enough, as soon as I like got sober, I never violated my probation or parole again.
Yeah.
I paid off all my dues, and I am a free man today. Like,
Well,
Right.
at least he's not Diddy.
yeah, well, yeah, he's not, but he is. You know, and they reside in the same home basically right
Yeah.
now.
yeah. Anyway, man, like it's like we've always said, man. We want the best for him. We love him.
Yeah.
It's tough.
The sad thing is the people that love him the most, and I truly believe he loves the most, are the ones he's the angriest with.
Sure.
Like everyone that he's in his circle are just like, who the fuck and where the fuck are they from? Who he's giving his allegiance to, and it's like the ones, because the ones that love him will actually tell him
Right.
what he's doing and who he's hurting and how he's hurting them,
Right.
and not put
Right.
up with that. So I pray for him. I believe in the power of prayer, and I believe in miracles.
Sure.
You're
Never too
one,
late, man.
Scott's one, Vinny's one, I'm one.
I've said it every time. I've said it a million times. It's never too late, man.
No, not at all.
And this could be it, dude. This could be it.
I always say it takes what it takes until it takes. And who are you or I to be to say what it will be for it to take? It's between him and his maker. I remember I got out of my last treatment center and Bam came to me one day and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, did you have like a meeting with God? He's like, dude, why treatment center number 13? Why not 12 or 8 or 6 or 4 or 3? And the fact of the matter is they didn't say anything different in any of those places. It
Right.
regurgitated fucking recycled rhetoric. I was just in a different place to where it
Right.
like landed, and I hope he's in a different place.
Yeah. Let me ask you that thing, like jackass bits that you came up with.
None.
None.
Never. Never did I come up with one. Bam would come up with the majority of them. And I would just do anything
Sure.
for two reasons. For one reason, to get screen time, because then I could use that to prolong my addiction. And it was just a wash, rinse, repeat. So any way I could get any kind of notoriety, that even if it didn't equate to a paycheck, I could meet a fucking doctor. I could meet someone.
Yeah.
I'm that guy, and it just fucking enables my behaviors. So
Wow.
I was down. I remember the tooth
one.
pull thing, the Vito tooth pull. I was up there for that, and that was we did the Doo-Doo Falls on the ramp that day, and I broke my ribs, and they took me to the hospital, and the police officer followed the fucking the EMT, and when I got to the hospital, the police officer came in and said I had those warrants, and they took me right to jail. Therefore, I missed out on the tooth pull thing that I was slotted for, which
Which got cut
Vito
out of the
got.
movie anyway.
Thank God, because I love I'm anal with teeth, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Vinny, dude, you don't even know this. I don't know, does he? Your
No, I don't think so.
dentist, which came through him,
Dr. Brady.
Dr. Brady. Shout out to Dr.
Brady
Brady.
Smith, yeah.
One of my sponsees who had terrible teeth, works for me, helps tons of guys, needed new teeth. And I'm like, I called Vinny because Vinny had got his. I'm like, where'd you get him? And Vinny connected me with him, and I talked to him, and then Brady connected me with a guy in Philly, and the guy in Philly hooked my sponsee up with like new teeth, and now he does all this like nonprofit stuff, and we're gonna connect to see how we can provide like resources for people in
Dr.
recovery.
Brady helps a lot of people, man.
Dude, shout out
Brady
to
is the best.
forever indebted,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like I'm so grateful for
Yeah.
my guy. He just like he holds his head up higher. He smiles more. You know, he totally
It's life changing.
Yeah,
It really is.
I'm so grateful. You know, and that's the snowball effect. You had no fucking idea that, you know, you hooking him up with it. I saw that changes a guy in my life who then like will help more people. Like it goes far and wide, man.
Pay it forward.
That's it.
Yep.
So hey, if anyone needs help, reach out to me.
I love it, dude.
What's your number?
610-314-6747. Redemption Addiction Treatment Center. It's a treatment center I opened. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. I run group every day, and I love working with people directly. And that's my new passion, man.
Anybody needing help? You guys do sponsorship?
Yeah, for the houses. Yeah, and we do for the treatment center too. But
Okay.
it's a little
I got
layered.
a
Good to
place
know.
that has generously scholarshiped a few people that I sent their way. I'll shout them out. It's a Pace Recovery Center in, is it Huntington Beach or no?
I
Yeah,
feel like it's
Huntington.
Huntington,
Yeah,
so
it's somewhere in Orange County.
yeah.
Well, I too will add my facility to your list of resources for that.
Cool, man.
And I mean that. So if you have someone that wants a geographical change, I will provide
geographics work every time.
that. Yeah. What's wrong with it now?
You got a West Coast guy and you have an East Coast guy.
All right, dude. Yeah,
I love you,
brother,
man.
For sure.
Thanks
you,
so
dude.
much.
Love you,
Yeah,
Love
dude.
you, boys.
There you have it, folks. We talked to Novak, and like I said, we didn't harp on and on and on about recovery and sobriety because it's possible to be a sober person in recovery without harping on and on about. So, you know, that was fun and, like I said, refreshing. Also refreshing to get back on the road with my Super Dummy tour. Man, I hope I see all you guys out there on the road. My tickets are available at stevo.com. The first show is October 4th in Tucson. And man, I'm bouncing around all over the United States for the rest of this year. So good chance I'm going to be where you're at. And I want you to be there. I love you. Thank you for sticking around to the end. And have a great one. Yeah, dude.